Welcome, everybody. I'm down here. Yeah, way down here. I'm John Zidar. This is On Top and Hot. And this is Tuesday. It is December 10th. Tuesdays, that's when I like to take you over to Pennybois, where I spend my days from bell to bell, 9:30 to 4 o'clock. I'm over here at Pennybois' free member page, trading with the public. Could be you. There's a link down below. It says this is the link to Pennybois. Click that. It'll take you over to Discord. If you haven't got an account, it's easy to get one. Just give them an email, choose a username and password, and you've got an account. They'll automatically direct you to us. Go over here to the left and find free member page. Yours won't be as big as mine, but you'll find it right there. Click free members. You're on the page where we are trading every day from bell to bell all through the day. And what we're doing over here is scalping. Now, I know if you watch this show on a regular basis, you say, oh, he's going to go through all this stuff again. It's the same old thing. Come on now. You know it's not the same old thing. I'm always giving you a little more in every video. Matter of fact, I know I've got stuff to share with you today that I have not shared in a video before. And this is going to help you a lot, especially if you like to trade hot stocks, stocks that are running at all-time highs, when you can't find supports and resistances, when you don't know where to get in and you don't know where to get out. It can be kind of scary. Well, I'm going to show you how you can handle that. So we are over here at Pennybois, the free member page. This is where I spend my entire days. Now, pre-market, I am posting news. This is at 9:07 in the morning. Between 7:20 and 9:30, I'm posting news on Twitter. I'm posting news over here at Discord. Any news I can find about hot stocks, any hot charts I can find, I'm posting those as well. That's what you see here. At 9:07, I found 3 stocks that were moving pretty hard. CMRX, CPIX, and GELS, GELS. So I just posted the charts just so people were aware of them. That's what we're doing. We're all sharing our information early in the day because there's a lot of activity. And the more eyes we have, the better. So this is what we do, and I'm going to cover this real quickly, but it's important that you know. We are scalping. Scalping is a trade that you do during the day for a few minutes. Maybe 5, 10, 20 minutes. You get into it and you get out of it and you take your gains, folks. We are playing what is called probable moves. What you're looking at here, this is an example. We put in supports and resistances. These yellow horizontal lines on my charts, these horizontal lines are places where the price likes to change direction, where it bounces. And I get these by looking at historical price points. I look at the history, I find those spots, and I draw these lines. Now, we know that the price likes to normally climb when it gets on top of these lines, and it has an inclination to fall when it falls underneath them. So we plan our trades accordingly. We get in over top of these supports. Any one of these blue lines over top of any one of these supports is a play that you can set up in advance, which is what we do. And we're going to get out at the very next support, just underneath it. We don't do anything on top of them because that's where the price bounces. So we get over them and under them. Not to mention, when I draw them, they may be a little off, could be too high, could be too low. So we want a buffer zone in there. So we are going to grab this probable move in between. We don't really care how much is there. It's not about how much your money you're taking, but how often you're taking it. These are quick plays. You can do 4 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day. Absolutely. And if you win more than you lose, then you're going to be way ahead. Now, the last thing we always enter is a stop loss. Here's my entry. Above the support, we're going to put a stop loss underneath that support. In case this thing breaks the wrong way, we're not going to hope that it bounces. We're going to just sell and take a small loss, a little loss from where we got in to where our stop loss is. But notice that little loss is a lot less than what we're going to gain. So you can lose this much and gain that much, which means 3 or 4 losses will equal out to 1 win. So as long as you're winning 2 out of 3 of your plays, you're way ahead of the game. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is when you are playing a stock for a probable move, you don't have to sell 100% at the very first price target. We have targets at each one of the next supports. So if she's running strong and you know she's going to keep going, rather than take 100% of your holdings all the way up, risking everything, sell something at the very first target, 50% or more. If you sell 50% here, carry the other half up to the second target. If she still looks like she's going to run, sell 50% of what you have left and just keep doing that until she looks like she's about ready to fizzle out, and then sell what you got left and get out of it. So that's what we like to do over here. And we bring in a lot of different charts early in the morning so that you can get busy with the Wizzy, who is normally feeling bullish in the morning. The morning is when we get most of our hot plays. So we're bringing in charts right now, and I've already got two charts that I have picked out that I want to share with you. CMRX. You can see what happened here, and we're going to focus in on this by looking at the chart, but she had a huge run in the morning, over 300%. She settled on this very strong support with this bull, and that's the way we saw her at 9:24, just before the bell. Then we had CPIX. That too was running strong. Right here, the bell is going off. Ding, ding, ding. Scott, my man, he likes to post a lot of charts too. He brought up Tesla, which was hot. Tesla was taking off fast. But Scott doesn't just bring in charts that are running hot and fast. I do that. I'm looking for scalps. Scott's looking for scalps. Scott's looking for recoveries, bounces. He brings in charts with all the lines and descriptions. He puts them right here in the middle of his charts, and he tells you what he's looking at here. I like Scott's charts. And the other chart I'm going to share with you is ABSI. She had been running strong for many days. She was running very strong just after the bell. This is 10 to 10. And this is what she looked like on the 1 hour chart. So I want to share ticker ABSI with you and ticker CMRX. Both of these have got things I can teach you and you can learn. So let's jump on over to the charts right now then. So the first one we're going to take a look at here is ticker CMRX. Now, to be completely honest, I don't know what CMRX does. I'm going to presume, because of the RX at the end, it's a biotech or a pharmaceutical company, but I don't know. And we never usually know anything about these stocks when we're trading them. We're not looking at the fundamentals. We don't care to know what they do. We don't know what the news is. If there's any news, we're just playing the technicals. Now, if someone happens to bring the information, great. But we don't make our decisions based on any of that. It is all based on technicals. So this was the chart. Now let's get this the way I saw it this morning, right there. So that's what I saw this morning. And as you can see, I've already got lines up on it, but I didn't have anything up on it when I found it this morning. What I am going to do is I'm going to take all of this off and I'm going to show you how I got what I've got here, because this is real critical information, folks. We have to have supports and resistances for our day trades, our scalps, our swing trades. If you're not using supports and resistances, you really aren't getting out and in at the best places. Supports and resistances will do that for you. If you're not quite sure what that means, I've got videos that will explain that. So I've got supports and resistances drawn here, but I didn't use any historical price points to get these. These were made by my Fibonacci. Now I'm going to show you what I've done here, because right now this stock is running not at all-time highs, but it's running at really strong highs right now. So I'm going to get rid of all these lines. We're going to start off with a naked chart. This is the way I would have seen it early in the morning. Now, the very first thing I always do is I draw a line across the very top, the very absolute top, just like I've got there. Boink, boink. So now I've got a line. What I also do is I turn this line blue so that I can recognize it. When I have a lot of lines on the board, I don't always know which line I should be looking at. I normally put this in as my very first line on the chart when I found the stock. What was its price when I found it? Or I go straight to the very top. Then I make it go all the way to the left. Now, it's going as far as this chart goes, and I'm going to use that now so that I can go get historical price points above this blue line so that I can get S&Rs so that I know where to enter and where to exit this stock. So let's go back 4 hours, see what I've got. I've got absolutely nothing here, do I? Let's go back a year. I still have nothing. Now, when I go back to my 2-year. Let's go back 2 years. All right, I'm getting close, but I'm not there yet. This is a 2-year, 1-day chart. My 3-year chart, I could set up on the daily, but it's set up on the week. So each one of these bars is an entire week. It's kind of tough to get 5-minute supports and resistances from a weekly chart. And what I've got here is a big gap. There's my blue line. This is where my price is, just underneath over here. Where am I going to get supports and resistances off of this? I really can't. So what I do is I cheat. I use the Fibonacci. I'm going to come all the way back down to the chart. Now what I do is I take my Fibonacci and I use the most recent run. This one right here. I poke the very top of it. Then I poke the very bottom. You do the same thing with the drop. Now I have my Fibonacci numbers. These numbers are magical numbers, and I don't know why. The Fibonacci is a science that science can't prove. It shows up in all sorts of things in Mother Nature, the way our universe and galaxies are made, the way shells are made, the way toilet water goes down the toilet, all sorts of things. Well, they brought it into the market and it works, folks. These lines are supports and resistances I can trade on, and the price is going to respect, even though they are not attached to any historical price point. Now that I have got this drawn up, I am going to use it for the future. I am going to release it. I'm going to activate it. And what I do is this second line right here, not the bottom line, but the second one. I'm going to lay that on top of my top line right there. I'm going to just drag it up and I'm going to overlay it perfectly, as close as I can, right there. There you go, folks. So now I have got supports and resistances for a price that could be at all-time highs. This is how I do it. I am actually going to be able to use these. Now look at the way the price is bouncing. It is bouncing right here. It is hitting its head right there. It's bouncing right there. These magic numbers are working. Even though this Fibonacci is not for this surge and these S&Rs are not attached to any historical price points, they are working. I have done this over and over again, folks. So that little trick you just seen right there by creating a Fibonacci graph on an old surge, the most recent one, and then dragging it up to the second line, to the top S&R that you have at that point, will give you S&Rs that you can use. So this is how I had set it up. Now let's go back. Let's back this up. And I want to go right to where I seen this. Right about there, right? So what I see here is a big jump from about 85 cents all the way up to $2.66. You're looking at virtually 300% run right there. Now, most people would say, ooh, that's all done with. Well, we don't judge a stock like that. We judge it by how much volume it has and what the MAs and the oscillators are saying. So right now we see she has been going sideways, sitting on a very strong support here. She created this bowl. I don't know if this is a bum, a bosom, a double bottom, a cup and handle. I don't know what this is. But we see she came right back up to that strong support. So what I am thinking is that she's probably going to run. I think she's going to take off. I am going to watch this stock at the bell. So let's move this over a little bit. You can already see what's going on, and it's happening fast, folks. And this is the big thing here. When the bell goes off, so many people feel like it's a race. They feel rushed, like they have to find a stock right now and get into it. Don't feel that. Don't let the impulse drive you to make bad decisions. Take the first 5, 10, even 15 minutes and watch the market. See what's moving, what directions. Get some more insight. Make rational decisions. So as we can see here, she did drop right at the bell. Matter of fact, let's go down to the 1 minute and see what we had going on. So she was riding that strong support here. She did take a drop. Now, if you're one of those impulsive people, you seen her drop here, you had an opportunity to get into this. You would come in, and I'm going to grab my support line here. You would come into this, and you would set your play up to get in right there. If we are down here and you think this is going to run, and I would think she was because I'm looking at all the MAs on the board. The MAs are all climbing. They're all pushing up. All of our oscillators are climbing. Volume has come into the picture. So as far as I'm concerned, she's going to climb. She may do a crouch and pounce like a cat does, squat down a couple inches to jump a couple feet. That's exactly what happened here. She squatted down underneath that 200 and she ripped. So when she came down underneath the 200, you would immediately at least set up a play. If it doesn't work, you're not out anything just for setting it up. We're getting ready in case it happens. We're already there to grab it. So we're going to get in over top of this support and we're going to get out underneath the next one. We are also going to grab a stop loss somewhere down here. We have our three prices, my entry, my target, and my stop loss. I put all of these in at the same time, OCO, one cancels the other, or a bracket order. All three orders go in at the same time. So as soon as this comes up and it sells me my shares, these two sell orders are put in at the same time. When one of them is activated, the other one is automatically canceled. And once I get my shares, I don't have to make any decisions, folks. I just kick back and I let this happen. Now this spread right here, we are going from like 224 up to 264. That's like 40 cents. Now, for some of you, you're going 40 cents. That's not a very big gain. Well, let's stop and think about this. First of all, you can see how fast she moved here. This was like about 20 minutes. She had blasted right up to that point, hit it a few times, and then came down and then barreled off again. So you were only in it for about 20 minutes. Next thing you need to consider is we're doing multiple trades a day, and we're not looking for as much as we can gain, but as often as we can take it. This was about 40 cents. If you buy 1,000 shares of any stock at any price, you're going to make $10 for every penny that stock moves. $10. That is a $400 play, folks. $400. And you took it. Now, we might think this is going to continue, so maybe you sell 50% right here and you set up another sale right there for another 50% or the rest of what you have. And again, she is taking off. Now, what happens if you are being good and you are watching the stocks for the first 5 to 15 minutes where you miss this? This is already blasting off. You missed a big run. Oh, man, I'm so upset. Don't get upset. Get ready. You can see she's climbing hard and fast. So get your play ready while she's down here. After 15 minutes, our price would be right there. That gives you plenty of time to see all the chart looks strong. All of our lines are climbing. Everything is pushing up. So now is a perfect time to get in up here. We are going to set up a trade with our entry right there, our stop loss underneath that same support, and we're going to get out underneath the next support. And this one is going to take us from 268 up to 288. That's going to be 20 cents. So that's a $200 gain if you do 200,000 shares of this stock. You do 500, that's $5 for every penny that it moves. And as long as you keep winning, folks, it's not about how much you take. It's how often you take it. If you go to the casino and you're playing the penny slots, ching, 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 and it's 80 cents for every bet, and it gives you 15 cents for a winner. Do you not take that 15 cents even though you bet 80 cents? Sure you do. So why wouldn't you take it here? The best way to think about it, in my opinion, underneath each one of these supports is a payday. That's Friday payday right there for me, folks. Would you miss a payday and wait till next week to get this week's check? No, you probably wouldn't. So why would you miss them on the charts? Take your paydays underneath each support as they come to you. Nobody says you have to sell 100% at the very first target, and it doesn't cost you anything to sell. So sell some, 50 to 75%, carry the rest. If it still looks strong, sell some there, but lock in those gains, folks. You never know when she's going to abruptly turn and start falling fast. And if you don't have quick buttons, you're probably getting burned real fast. All right, so that was one play right there. Actually, a couple plays. As you can see, she just started going sideways the rest of the day. But again, this was a $200 play right there. So when she came back down, you could have played it here, made another $200. She came back down. You could have set up the play again, made another $200. She did come back down again. And even after market here, she's done it again. So even though she is going sideways with that big of a spread, you could be making a chunk of change over and over again through the day. All right, let's take a look at that other chart. It's got something in common with this one, though you can't see it from here. There's my blue line. I drew that as soon as I found this stock. Let me show you what I saw. Yeah, but you really can't see it there. Let's back up even further. You can see it there. We've got another bowl. Folks, these bowls are very hot patterns. They come in a lot of different forms. Cup and handle is the one that most people know, but you don't need to have a handle. A cup is good enough. The reason these are so hot is because they are gently changing the sentiment of the market. You can see it happening slowly, not volatile. They are just slowly changing their mind, which gives you time to see it happening, to get in place, to watch it set up. And what we look for in these bowls is for it to come right back up to exactly where it started to fall. That is a breakout point. That becomes a play right there. So I saw this, and as soon as I saw it, I drew a line. Now let's see if we come down to, let's see what the 5-minute looks like. Right there is where I saw it. Chances are I saw it right there, right on top of this line right there. I missed the very first blast off. She came back down. She hit her 9-day MA here, and she tagged this right there. Then she came back down again. So I did find this before she ran. Now, I'm not calling this a big run, and it really isn't a big run, but it is a great example. We see over and over again these bowls, these cups and handles, most of the time run. They could be small runs, they could be big runs. But when you see a cup forming, folks, you need to go take a look at what they call the neckline. Let me back this up. From top to top across, everything down underneath here. This is the neckline of that cup. If this is going to run, it will run at least the depth of the cup. It could go a lot further, but minimally, it will go the depth of the cup. Now, I got a little information here. You can read this later if you want, but this shows you a perfect way to play these cups, even without the handle, just the cup. The handle isn't going to change the way we play the cup, folks. Matter of fact, we got a perfect picture here to show you exactly how to do it. The neckline is right there where the green shadow ends. That neckline is your support and resistance. You are going to place your stop loss underneath that neckline. Come down under it. You're going to put your entry above it. That is your play. You are at the neckline. You are waiting for it to cross over into the entry. Come into your buy price. If she falls, she's going to automatically sell. You should also have a sell price up here. Now, I know a lot of you don't like to do this. You think you can make better decisions just watching the stock, that something's going to happen and you're going to make a decision like that. Well, think about it. How many decisions do you really make in the flash of the moment? How often do you hit that button as fast as you need to? Be honest, right? That's why we do these sort of plays, folks. Even a swing trade, you should have a target that you want to get out at and a stop loss where you want to get out if she starts to fall. The most important thing in trading is not to make money, but to keep the money you've got. That is your priority, folks. Your objective is to make money. The priority is to keep it, not to lose it. Think of yourself as a soldier. Your priority is to stay alive. Yes, your job, your objective is to eliminate the enemy. But if you get shot, if you get hurt or killed, you can't do it. So you've got to protect yourself. You got to protect your assets. Keep the money, folks. If you're not using stop losses, you're only hurting yourself, folks. Honestly, get used to using a stop loss. Yes, you will get stopped out every now and then when you think you could have made money because she bounced. That just means we need to learn where to put our stop losses better. That's the real lesson to be taught here. Yes, you will get stopped out every now and then when you think you could have made money because she bounced. That just means we need to learn where to put our stop losses better. That's the real lesson to be taught here. So hopefully I've shown you a few things here about bowls, cups, how to see these as opportunities, and also how to make use of your Fibonacci to set up S&Rs on stocks that are at all-time highs or are very difficult to get S&Rs for. Thanks for your time. I hope to see you again. If this is the first time you've been here, thanks a lot. This isn't the normal show. Normally well, I guess I don't have a normal show anymore, do I? No, I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but it's all good information. Remember, folks, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. See ya.